Hi, I'm Jeremy Britton from Boston Trading Co, where we make investing in crypto safe and simple for everyone. This is my 13th startup business. I've had a few businesses, obviously, including 6 or 7 financial planning businesses. And I'm here to talk to you about financial literacy. Basically, that's a couple of big words, but what it means simply is learning how to get rich, making more money and living the lifestyle that you really want to have. Now, if you're like me and a lot of normal people, you started out working a normal job as an employee where you receive a wage or a salary. And from there, it becomes a little bit more complicated because you're not going to make enough money working in a normal job to live the lifestyle that you really want to live, because there's not enough hours in the week for you to work all the hours that you need to do. So if you want to make more money, you're going to have to get into investing where your money can actually work for you. This is where it starts to get complicated because the investment world uses a lot of jargon. So it's important to understand that it's basically all about the income. Again, as an employee, you get a wage or a salary. If you have an investment property, then you get a rent. If you invest in bonds, you make yield. If you have stocks and shares, then you get dividends. If you make music or books or something like that, movies, you may receive royalties. If you start your own business, you get revenue, and people say things like EBITDA and this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about the income. It's making additional income from additional sources that you didn't actually have to work for. Now, it was a big learning curve for me. My grandparents never had an investment property, never invested in stocks and shares. My own parents were employees. They never bought an investment property, never invested in stocks and shares. So all the things that I learned after I left home. I got to meet some people after I left home who were having a fabulous lifestyle, making money while they slept, and I decided to learn as much as I could. So I started my first financial planning business when I was 19, and I learned as much as I could and then started teaching other people. Now, if you're confused by the terms and you don't know where to start, after 15 years in financial planning, I actually wrote this book. I think it's a really good book because I wrote it, but also because it distills things down, makes things very, very simple so that you can understand what people are talking about when they use these acronyms, when they talk about weird things like the All Ords and the Dow Jones and the Nikkei Dow and the Doxy, and on the news or the papers when they're talking about PER or NTA or EPS or something like that. It actually explains it all for you. And this book has been read by 10-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids, and they understood it, and they could actually start investing into companies that they know and trusted. Now, when you first start out investing, you don't need millions of dollars to invest. You can start with literally $1 or $2. Basically pocket change. You can invest into stocks and shares. You can invest in cryptocurrency. And then obviously once that grows to a decent amount, then you can start investing in bonds and properties and things like that. Businesses you can start as a side hustle. So it is very simple to start, but you just got to understand the jargon, and that's one of the steps. You will make mistakes along the way. Like, I've lost money by investing into investment properties. I've lost money by investing into stocks and shares. I've lost money in crypto, but I've also made a lot as well. So the important thing to realize is you will make mistakes, you'll lose money, but the investment that you make in your own education, what you put in here, no one can ever take that away from you. And mistakes that you make, you'll learn from your experience. So it is important to start. It's important to find a book, borrow a book. I'll send you a copy of this book if you want to learn how to do it safely and simply. Get started. But again, getting started, $1 or $2, $10, that sort of stuff, you can actually get started in investment, and you can get started learning things. Increasing your financial literacy, learning how to get rich, learning how to make money while you sleep. It can be very simple once you actually understand it. It's kind of like going to a foreign country, but if you've got a guidebook or if you've got someone who speaks the language, it makes the experience much more easy and much more pleasurable for you. Send me any questions you have. Happy to help out. As I say, happy to send you a copy of the book so that you can learn and get started on this wonderful world of making a lot more money, living the lifestyle you desire, and impacting your community, your family and friends.